Hey, good people, it's Twan the counselor. It's been a little minute since I last jumped on to put out some content, whatever you call this that I'm doing. It's been a little minute since I made a video here on YouTube, and this one is going to be very, very short. And I usually just put things up when I'm inspired to do so. And so inspiration has hit this morning, and I really just simply wanted to remind everyone that as we begin to learn about our mental health, and as we begin to center mental health in our lives, it is so important to remember that physical health is inextricably linked to mental health. Now, there are some other factors that go into overall health of the person, but this video is specifically about just a reminder that you cannot separate physical health from mental health. And so it is very, very difficult to feel good mentally and emotionally if you are not doing well physically, and if you are not kind of paying attention to what's going on with your physical health. So as a therapist, one of the first things that I check in on when people are reporting low mood states or fluctuating mood states is, hey, what's your diet been looking like? You know, what have you been putting in the body? What's your water intake been like? Are you getting enough dark leafy greens in your in your meals? Are you getting enough fruits and veggies? And are you mindful of the amount of processed foods that you're taking in? Now, granted, with what we've gone through this past year with this pandemic and everyone kind of being forced inside, most of us have gained a lot of weight, myself included. Just from having really sedentary lifestyles over this last year. And we have also, most of us, and I'm including myself in that, we also ordered out probably a lot more than we did prior to 2020. My Postmates bill, Postmates became a bill. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, so a lot of us took in a lot more processed foods during the pandemic than maybe we would have liked to, right? And so as a therapist, one of the things that I always check in on is what is going on with your physical health. And so I put this out here just to remind us all that if you find yourself sort of in a low mood state, you find yourself not feeling your best on a mental and emotional level, please check in on what's going on with you health-wise. Check in especially on your diet, because obviously the things that we put in our body affect the way we feel, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so if this message resonates with you, take some action. Do something about it. If you can look at your diet and see that there may be some linkage there between what I'm eating and how I'm feeling, just take some action. Sometimes doing a good reset on your diet, sometimes going on a good fast, of course, consulting your physician before you make any major dietary changes. Let me put the disclaimer out there. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I'm not giving medical advice. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and consult with your physician before making any major changes. But you could definitely look at, am I getting enough whole foods into the body? Because like I said, all these things are inextricably linked. And I will tell you that as a therapist, almost without fail, when I encourage my clients to take a look and really examine diet, I would say maybe a good 80 to 90% of the time, there is something going on with the diet that is contributing. Now, that doesn't always mean that because I'm depressed, that means that I'm eating poorly. That's not always the case, but sometimes it is definitely a contributing factor to it. And so I will leave you with that. I will say, hey, if you're in a low mood state, or you're noticing just some strange things happening with your mental and emotional health, check into your diet. Obviously, things like exercise helps as well, and making sure that you're getting out in the sun, getting your vitamin D, all of those good things. But a good place to start is to look at your diet, because what we put in the body affects not only how we physically feel, but it affects the mind. And remember that the brain is also a bodily organ. You know, it is a part of the body. So if the rest of this ain't feeling well, this ain't working well. All right. That is my little spiel. Again, I will put this disclaimer out that this video in no way substitutes therapy. I am only putting these videos out for informational purposes. But if you find yourself struggling with depression and you don't have supports in place, I highly recommend that you seek out a therapist, and, you know, work through those things cognitively. And also, hey, you know, if things are really, really tough for you, there are various hotlines that you can call to just have someone to talk to and kind of process to see if therapy is recommended or if psychiatry is recommended. But this is in no way a substitute for therapy. This is purely informational, and I am no substitute for your therapist. For those who are in Florida, though, if what I've said resonates with you, if you feel like you connect with me and you're interested in therapy, you can visit my website at www.itsallgrief.com. I am taking new clients at this time. And so you can definitely learn more about me there. But yeah, if you're outside of Florida, or even if you're in Florida and you're realizing that you're struggling and you need some assistance, do not hesitate to seek out therapy. Therapy is more than just having someone to talk to. Therapy really provides you with some tools and a space to practice some new ways of being that will elevate mood and will kind of propel you toward healing and wholeness. So anyway, I feel like I'm rambling now. I'm gonna close this down. This was supposed to be a short video. Rarely is. Light and love always.